Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Ilyas bin Abdul Halim. My matrix number is L23B0389 and I am from BCE course. Today I will be discussing two chapters. One, chapter 5, The World Between Words, where I will be discussing my chosen artifacts. And second is chapter 6, Mindful Listening, where I will be reflecting on a time where I wish I had listened more. So I'm done with my introduction. Let me start with chapter 5. The artifacts I've chosen for this chapter are two things: this book and this pen. It may seem simple, but without these two things, I cannot function in a professional or classroom setting. These have been a mainstay with me throughout my diploma, and I have always had these with me wherever I go, in the classroom, in a lecture, during seminars. These two things will always stay with me. I believe these two nonverbals communicate that I'm someone who is always ready to learn and to digest information. It also signifies that I'm someone who requires structure in order to function, but that mostly boils down to just who I am. The way these artifacts affect my comfortability is quite noticeable, even to myself in the classroom. Without these artifacts, I feel nervous, I feel like I'm not going to digest the information, I feel as if I'm going to lose whatever tidbits the lecturers or teachers have said to me. It is also a part of my identity. When I have these two things, I feel comfortable. It adds security to myself. And there is a saying, if you live with the pen, you die with the pen. Which means throughout your life you will learn and you will garner information. These things signify that. The question, would it all be different if this all disappeared? Would it be different if my artifacts disappeared? Is something that I have pondered on, as I have left these before, and I can say it has quite left me in a mess. I'll start getting anxious, I'll start to lose focus, and if I were to lose these two things, I would have felt as if I have lost a part of myself that up until now I didn't know how important it was. And these two things are something I cannot live with. And with that out of the way, let me start with chapter 6, which is mindful listening. Now, listening is an integral part of everyone's life. As someone who myself enjoys listening and is always happy to hear other people's problems, I too am not a stranger to not listening or passive listening. This is a story of someone who is dear to my heart, whose kindness and compassion has been with me throughout my life. This is the story of my aunt and how I wish I had listened to her more. It was at a time where I was young and I didn't really listen to her that much as well. She suffered from a severe mental illness, bipolar disorder to be specific, and she was known for her episodes and sometimes her incessant ramblings and her mood swings and all that. The reason why I chose my aunt was because she needed someone, and I should have been there. I should have listened to her more. The last time I saw her was during September of last year, 2023, when she was still healthy and happy, and she was telling me about what was triggering her at the time, and I brushed it off. I did not listen to her. I didn't think it was that important for me to listen to her, and I just told her, maybe just eat your medication and whatever you're dealing with will go away. But that was a fatal mistake. She then proceeded to lock herself in the house during one of her most terrible episodes for 3 months. It was a rough time. The one time I truly wish I had listened to her and I had actually been there for her. And the last time I ever went to her house, last time she was alive, she was locked in her house, the doors were all closed, and she was moaning in pain. At first I thought she was just pretending, like she usually does, but I was wrong. I couldn't have guessed that the next day, as I broke open her door, I saw her lying on the floor and she couldn't say a single word. She we then proceeded to bring her to the hospital. She stayed there for a week, and I thought she was going well. I thought she was gonna be okay, she was gonna be alright. But then the next day, which was December of 26, she passed away. And it was the same month I was born, and it was also the same month where I buried her. It has affected me. This one regret has affected me up until now. If I had listened to her cries more, I could have saved her. I could have been there for her. What I learned from this experience is to always appreciate the ones you love, and that death is inevitable. It was important for me to listen to her, because if I did, she would still be here. She would still be happy, and she would still be alive. That is the one time I wish I had listened. That's all I have for now. Thank you, Dr. Wan, for giving me this opportunity to talk about these two chapters. Assalamualaikum and goodbye.